Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. So, there's so much news going on that I could not cover it all in the Crypto Minute yesterday. Couldn't even cover it in a longer video yesterday. And I couldn't cover it all in the Crypto Minute today. And I'm hoping that we can get through everything right now. So, what do we have going on? Just for S&Gs, you know, those things and giggles. Bitcoin's market cap surpassed that of the Russian ruble. Take that in for a minute. The reason why I'm giggling is because you know that Russia is a part of BRICS, and BRICS is contemplating creating their own currency. And I'm sitting here just saying to myself, this should be a wake-up call for every fiat around the world, because Bitcoin has surpassed, the Russian ruble. That's in the top 15. Right? Now, it's got a tremendously long way to go for any other fiat, right? However, that actually is a big deal, and I will be paying attention to that because Russia's got problems. Russia's got problems. So I want to see what's going on with that, to see how it progresses, and then I want to see how it progresses through the BRICS nations, right? You're joining BRICS to go against the dollar, but how are you going to do that? Why are you doing it? Right? Political reasons. Nothing surprising there. But you would then have to take a look at crypto as a whole and say, well, is that a better place for us? And I think there are going to be some countries that are going to be thinking about that in a major fashion, and not just investing in crypto, but leveraging crypto, especially those up and coming, fiats, or herding fiats is what I should say. Then you have Michaël van de Poppe, very well-known trader, crypto trader, and he's saying there is an altcoin explosion coming. It's not quite here yet. It is coming. I'm also a believer in that. But he does say that there could be, a Bitcoin correction, like now. And I have to say, I'm not against that idea. I don't know that I disagree with him. And here's why. Everything has shot up so much that there could be a correction before it explodes up. Then to carry that story forward, you've got people like Mike Novogratz saying, listen, before we start reaching all-time highs, we could have a pullback. Now, there's a difference between a pullback and a correction, right? Correction is way bigger than a pullback, at least in my humble opinion. So I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, yeah, I can see how they could be correct about that, right? But there are factors involved in this market that weren't involved in previous markets, marketing times, and that would be, the Bitcoin spot ETFs, growing interest in Bitcoin or in cryptos. And I would say the interest right now that's growing is indirect participation in crypto, because that's what an ETF is, right? It's indirect participation with a particular asset, or asset class in this case. So I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, that's interesting. Then JPMorgan comes out and says, hey, after the halving event, we think there could be a major, just crash for Bitcoin, down to $42,000. A while ago, I've been telling you guys that we're probably not going to see $30,000, $35,000 for Bitcoin ever again. And now JPMorgan is saying, or defining a crash as Bitcoin going down to $42,000. That hit me different, as my kids would say. That really did hit different. And it's because there's a certain reality that there are certain numbers for Bitcoin that we're just never going to see again, right? Right now, we could possibly get back down that low if there is a major problem, something comes up, like a true macro event hits the market. World War III or some crap like that. God forbid. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about that, and I'm saying to myself, wow, that's actually a very big deal. that you're never going to see those numbers again. For me, it hit different because I'm sitting back and I'm going, I need to rethink my dollar cost averaging, and I might need to like really get into Bitcoin before that happens, before that, predicted crash. I mean, it'll come back up again, right? But there is that predicted crash. I think that there are contributing factors to the counter that say, well, there's just so much interest, just so much going on. I don't know if there's going to be a crash. And I can see that side of the coin as well, right? I can definitely see that side of the coin, which is why I don't pay attention to, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, Bitcoin. I pay attention to what's in the news and how I see that going forward. And there is a lot more going on in the news than people think. Polygon's got a whole bunch of things going on, right? Ethereum's got their Dencun upgrade that just happened. That's going on, and that's huge. That's why Ethereum's just exploding. Then you have banks like Wells Fargo, Merrill Lynch of Bank of America, both saying, "Hey, we are considering selling Bitcoin spot ETFs." Wow. So there's a lot going on. Then MixMob, a Solana NFT gaming company, comes out with a game where you can actually battle, my jaw drop because I'm a big fan, Star Wars Stormtroopers. Do you know what kind of licensing deal had to happen for this to become a thing? Just think about that. This is Disney's way of making money off of the space without being directly involved in the space, because they own the Star Wars and they own that whole universe. But now you can play a game. You can play an NFT game battling Stormtroopers, Star Wars Stormtroopers. Wow. And everybody was like, I was just looking at Solana and I was like, why is Solana exploding? Then I started doing research and I'm like, holy moly, that is huge. That's almost huger than huge. Just saying, like, those are really big deals. So I'm just like, dang. So, but I'm also waiting for Solana to fall back down. I mean, yeah, when this craze goes away, is it going to come back down? And I have to tell you, when it shot up, I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take a little off the table, right? When I saw it hit, 110, 115, 120, I was like, I'm in no rush. Just let it ride. Just let it ride. It hit 134. Hey, Stitchy, come here. Come here. Show everybody. Come here. Up. No, come here. Up. Come here. Nah, he just wants to play. Sorry. So I'm looking at that and I'm just like, I'm taking all this in and I'm just like, wow. So let me take some profit, because when it comes back down, I'm going to buy back in. But am I going to go buy back into Solana? I don't know, because there's more news. I told you I was not going to get involved in Dog with Hat, right? But there is some news about Dog with Hat. And what is that news? Well, Robinhood has decided to list it. So Dog with Hat shot up again. And when that news really goes throughout, I think it's going to go up some more. Am I going to buy in? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I really don't know. There's absolutely no use case. There's no use case. None. So I don't know that I'm going to do that. Another huge development that I wrote the article yesterday, I just didn't talk about it. Huge development. ARK Invest and 21Shares want to show transparency about their holdings for their Bitcoin spot ETF. So what do? They partner with VeChain to actually pull that off. Wow. That's tremendous. I've been waiting for a long time for VeChain just to kind of take off. There you go. Then they have a whole bunch of other stuff. They've got, VeChain's got, VBetter and the whole VBetter DAO and all that good stuff, where they're doing things where you can be involved in this greener, kind of space, if you're working on your projects. huge. VeChain is making big moves, and I love it. Shiba Inu, big moves. Did you look at their numbers? They went from, we went from like, 5 zeros, 9, to then they popped up to 13, 14. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, yeah, they're going to move. Somebody was talking about, another YouTuber I was I was listening to said that, yeah, he's, all the other meme coins have kind of outshined, Shiba Inu. He still likes Shiba Inu, but all the other meme coins, are hotter. And I sat there and I said, because you're an idiot, because you keep thinking that everything else is just a meme coin, or that Shiba Inu is a meme coin. It's not. I wrote the article. Shiba Inu is a huge ecosystem that people are getting involved in. More and more and more people are getting involved in it. They have their own layer 2, Shibarium. They have a whole bunch of dApps and all these things going on, making them a real viable network. Stop calling it a meme. What did my man say? Stop calling it a comeback. I've been here for years. Well, there you go. There you go. Because I'm sitting here and I'm just going, you got to be insane. Now, back to the whole problem of, there becoming a major correction after the halving. One of the reasons why I have a little bit of doubt about that is because there are so many, stock-like products being, thought about for Bitcoin. So GBTC, Grayscale, wants to have options trading for Bitcoin. And they want the SEC to approve it. Now, they had, $623 million in outflows. Of course, BlackRock and Fidelity saw more than that as inflows. Just saying. But, and, somebody brought it to my attention that, they're fearful of BlackRock's, involvement in so many different things. I need you to go look up who owns BlackRock. Go look that up and then come back to me. Yeah, you'll be shocked. Everybody wags their finger at BlackRock, but it's not BlackRock. Look at who owns BlackRock. But I'm just looking at all of these different factors, options, deeper interest, and I'm not talking about just institutional interest. I'm talking about, retail interest, personal interest. I'm talking about regular people being more educated or wanting to become a little bit more educated about crypto in general and not just Bitcoin. This is why I pay attention to this. There are just huge things going on that people are just missing out on. They're just missing out on it. Pay attention to these news events because that's going to help to tell you what's going on in the future, right? I'm just looking to see if I missed anything. MixMob, the SEC. That's right. Hester Peirce, crypto mom, an SEC commissioner, went to Denver ETH, forgot which comes first. But she was out there and she said, listen, the SEC is clearly acutely focused on enforcement and not the development of useful regulation when it comes to the crypto space. You could hear her frustration, you could see her frustration, and I'm just sitting back and I'm saying to myself, yeah, I think she's going to be on the right side of history. I think when cryptos are the way of the world, literally are the way of the world, I think people are going to look back and go, you should have listened to her. You should have listened to her. She's not saying allow it to be the wild, wild west, but she's talking to this group of developers and she's saying, listen, wouldn't it be great if you could focus on building and innovating and not have to spend half of your time, half of your brain trust thinking about, am I going to be sued by the SEC over this? And mind you, there are companies that are suing the SEC. Let us not forget. The SEC has problems. Back in the day, you weren't going up against the SEC. It is almost becoming commonplace now that companies are going after the SEC. Overreach, lack of clarity, inconsistency. SEC's got problems, and it's frustrating everybody. It's frustrating people sitting on that same side of the bench, of the table, as sitting on the other side of the table. I told you the other day that you had a major person from the SEC leave. I'm sorry, not leave. No, there was somebody from the SEC who took a job. And then you have people that are going from Binance and TaxBit to go help the IRS. Why? To figure out regulation. If you are going to do something for an industry, you have to get with that industry. You have to take a pragmatic approach to solving the problem. I bet you if I asked 5 of the smartest people on a planet that are involved in crypto, what are the rules and regulations that you have to abide by in order to be seen as legal with the SEC, they're all going to look at you, and you're going to get, from those 5 people, you'll probably get 15 answers. It's that muddy of a situation. Which is why I pay attention to the news, because I can start to look forward and think about, well, what are the chances of this happening? What are the chances of that happening? How can I best position myself? So remember when I told you Solana went up? Solana skyrocketed to like 137 and change. You know what I did? I took all of my principal out. Because I'm expecting it to come back down. Doesn't mean I don't believe in Solana. I absolutely believe in Solana. My son is here to steal the lotion off my desk. Isn't that right, big boy? So the idea is that I take my principal off. Now I've got, powder in the keg, right? So I can use it later on when it comes back down, or I can place that someplace else. And one of the places I'm thinking about placing is like Polygon, snatching up some more VeChain, right? Maybe even getting involved with adding some more Cardano to my bag. In terms of long shots, somebody brought up to me Poppe, COPI. So I've been starting to do some research on that, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I could do something like that. I really could. It's going to be a while before they get there, but I'm also not going to be mad about dropping a couple of bucks and just letting it sit. I did that with VeChain, and now I'm smiling. See what I mean? So I'm not telling you what to buy because I don't give financial advice. I'm just telling you what my experience is and what my research is like. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers. And I didn't have the logo. Today's been a very long day. We've been doing testing and all this stuff with a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. So it's a bit much right now. So I apologize for being a little off my game today. We got PCE numbers yesterday. Fear and greed index is at 80 again. I was at 80 yesterday. We're maintaining at 80. That's extreme greed. DeFi Llama, we've maintained that $114 billion in TVL. Looking at Bitcoin, it's still above the band that I had, like right here, and I was starting a new band right here. Now, if I was to put another line, I could probably put it like right about there, like 63, 714. You know what? I'll do that. And then there's the new band, the new blue band, right? You got the light blue one over here, got the yellow one all the way down here. Probably won't see that again unless there's a crash. But you see how long we traveled within those spaces, and could we be doing it again, establishing this band as our new spot, right? But I do pay attention to that. On the big picture, you're looking at Doge popped up extremely. It's a little bit down from where it was. But because it had reached as high as I think 13 or 14 cents. My son called me up. It got so high that my son called me up. He was like, Dad, the bag is growing again. The bag is growing again. I was like, yeah, it is, right? I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, how much money did you put in? He was like, we didn't put in that much. I was like, did we pull a profit? He goes, yeah, we're close to profit because we bought a little bit higher, bought a little bit lower. I forgot what the average was. Same thing with SHIB. Difference is with SHIB, we're in the green. We're fully in the green on SHIB, but we're waiting for SHIB to take off. right? We're just going to let that ride. We're not even thinking about getting rid of it. I just, I love my SHIB bag. And then there's talk about, a petition being signed to like go for a SHIB spot ETF. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. But the SHIB army is no joke. The SHIB army is no joke. You just come over here for your pets, huh? Is that what you come over here for? That's right. Stitch is over here, just trying to chime in. But Solana's up. Who else is up that I'm paying attention to? Or TON coin is TON coin. TON is up. That's a big deal. They're trying to do some stuff. I'm not a big fan of TON. I know I should be. I'm just not. I'm trying to get into it. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think about TON coin? I don't know. But Cardano. Wasn't it just a week ago that I was talking about how Cardano was, 59 cents, was below the 60 cents that I like? And here we are at 68 cents. I'm just saying, we have to pay attention to the movements of coins, and we also have to, come here. No? He just wants to play again, always when I'm recording. But that's it. I mean, that's the news of the day. Finally, you're on camera. Good boy. Finally. Yeah, this is Stitch. This is my little floppy ears. My mom calls them floppy ears. She doesn't call them Stitch. There you go. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. I hope you have a great weekend. If you like what I'm doing, drop me a note. Love hearing from you. We've got some new users over on the platform. Very thrilled and happy about that. Starting to reach out to a bunch of financial planners because we want to create a database of financial planners. There are a lot of databases out there, but I think with our content and our community, we can actually do something for real. And that's it. If you don't like what I'm doing and you have some ideas about how I can make it better, also drop me a note. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.